Hello friends, my name is Nick and this is Chip Chat. Today we are chatting about Hawaiian kettle style potato chips luau barbecue. Let's open it up. We have a very large bag, party size, it says. Let's see. Oh, definitely getting the barbecue smell. There's the first chip. Pretty good size. So, I've never been to Hawaii. And I don't know too much about it. The state, Hawaii. But I did a little looking before this video to learn about the more recent history of Hawaii. Pretty fascinating. I would definitely be interested to learn more. If you're aware of any good books about Hawaii, I'd be interested in checking that out. Not even necessarily recent history, too. Because basically what I read was sort of late, because I didn't know, I was trying to look up when Hawaii became a state, and so then I went a little earlier in history before that. And unsurprisingly, it's a story of European and American conquest. In which basically in like the late 19th century, I think it was 1887, a Hawaii, the king of Hawaii was pretty much forced to put a new constitution into action that basically made made himself just a figurehead, and really gave power to the Americans and the Europeans and the wealthy whites who had been living in Hawaii. Many of them had come over as like missionaries. And then a few years later, he died, the king died. His sister became the queen. She was gonna try to create a new constitution, bring power back to the monarchy. And then that's when the United States minister to the Kingdom of Hawaii, in response to concerns from the wealthy whites who were living in Hawaii, the minister to Hawaii led U.S. Marines to conduct a military coup. Oh, and by the way, the previous constitution that the king was kind of forced to put in place became known as the Bayonet Constitution, because it was enacted under force, essentially. So then, there's this U.S. coup, and and then there's a provisional government, and then for, well, let's see, that's, yeah, so that's early 1900s. So then Hawaii becomes a U.S. territory. It stays that way for quite a while because plantation owners would rather keep it that way so that they can have cheap labor and so forth for their sugar plantations. Meanwhile, it seemed like, you know, the Native Hawaiians and so forth wanted statehood so they could get rights, so they could get representation. And then it didn't become a state until 1959. Which is pretty wild. That was after Pearl Harbor. Yeah. So that's a little bit I learned through a quick internet search. So yeah, I'd be interested to learn more about all that. And history of Hawaii before that, because there's certainly a lot of it. So yeah, let me know if you have any recommended readings or even documentary or something about Hawaii. That'd be cool. Now, as for these ships, we haven't talked about ships yet. I didn't read anything on the history of Hawaiian ships, unfortunately. But I do know that luau's are a thing. I don't know if a luau is... if there are, like, specific things that make a luau, or if, like, that's essentially just any party sort of barbecue outing would be considered a luau, or if there are, like, specific things that make it a luau. I'm not sure. On the bag here, we've got some people partying. Excuse me. Some people partying. We got two people holding this pig. The pig is very dead. He is being cooked, I believe. Although, I don't know if they're, like, taking him off the pit, the fire pit. I don't know if there's a name for that. Like, it doesn't appear, there's not like a spit or whatever that the pig was on. So I don't know if these two people have just been holding that pig the whole time. That seems not reasonable. Like, I think that pig would have to be on there a long time to cook. So I'm not sure what's happening there. Maybe they're just taking him off. Maybe they're putting him on. I don't know. But anyway, that's the bag. Pretty good bag. Very colorful. It's kind of weird that the brand is just Hawaiian. Like, that's the brand. And these chips are not from Hawaii. They're from Washington State. I don't know if... yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's a Hawaiian population in there? I don't know. Now, I will say, these chips, they are very crunchy. Like, strangely so. Yeah. Like, when I first bought into it, I thought maybe they were stale. But they're not. They're not expired or anything. So I don't know what that's about. It's kind of, yeah, they're an odd consistency. They're like kind of hearty, but they're like, I don't know how to describe it, other than like just too crunchy, which is weird. You wouldn't think a potato chip could be too crunchy, but it's kind of how they feel to me. Now the flavor, it's pretty good. It's got like a little bit of sweetness, some smokiness, and a little bit of a kick, a little bit of a spicy kick. Although actually the heat is kind of on the back end, so you kind of get the sweet, smoky up front, and then you get surprised by the heat, or it just kind of lingers. But it's pretty solid. I mean, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if these are striking me as any especially different than like a normal barbecue chip, or I shouldn't say normal, but just like a, I don't know, a barbecue chip that doesn't add any other words to it, you know, just a barbecue. This is Luau barbecue. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I want to say, oh, there's onion powder. I was going to say it's like a sweet onion flavor I'm getting. Maybe that's the difference. Yeah. Let's take a look at the chip chart. Maybe that'll help me figure out how I feel about these. Yeah. So, our chip chart is growing here, which is good. Oh boy. Yeah, right off the bat, I don't think these are super high. I think these are going on the lower end. Because they're So I would say the two concerns really would be well, I guess there's three. There's the weird consistency, as I've mentioned. They're like too crunchy or something. There's nothing about the flavor that's like jumping out at me as different or special than other barbecue chips. And also, the heat is just kind of, it's sort of an unsatisfying heat. It's kind of like, I guess I would rather it's just not there. I don't know, that's just me. I'm not the biggest fan of spicy chips, but when I do like something spicy, I would rather it's, I don't know, like a peppery chip or a jalapeno chip, something like that. This, I don't know, it's just like a sweet, smoky chip, and then you get the heat. It's like they're separate, or they don't go, I don't know. So I think these are going, I'm gonna say these are going here, right under the Lay's Classic. The Luau, the Hawaiian Luau BBQ. Yeah, because they're not doing anything poorly necessarily, but it's not doing anything special, and the chip consistency isn't great, and the heat is just kind of like an afterthought to the flavor, and it doesn't really enhance the flavor. Yeah, but it is a party size bag, and it's a nice looking bag, and it did prompt me to learn a little more about Hawaii, which is an important thing. So that counts for something. So let me know if you've had any Hawaiian brand chips before, or if you've got other luau, barbecue, or similarly flavored chips you think I should try, and let me know if you have any suggestions on Hawaiian education sources, books and such. Yeah. Well, this was a long one, and we had a little history lesson, but I hope you enjoyed it. And these chips were fine. They were fine. Yeah. I'm gonna have to find a party to drop these off at, or something. All right, I'll see you later.